has a good quarter. Will that force some of the doom and gloom economists to reboot their theories? After all, tech shouldn't be performing well in a recession. Let's take that to our Fox panel, including independent financial trader Johan Sjöldström. Johan, let me go to you first. What happens, of course, we don't know yet, but what happens if Intel has a better than forecast quarter?
Well, I think well, first of all, thank you for having me. I don't think that that's going to change a lot. I think we have a slowdown happening, and I think it's going to be a little bit of a global slowdown. But however, at some point in time, people still need to buy computers. The rest of the world has grown at a very, very fast pace. And at some point in time, when Vista comes out, really comes out in the rest of the world, I think you will see chip makers starting to make more robust sales.
Well, let's hope so. But they are being beaten down right now, Victoria Barrett.
Yeah, they are. I think the expectation was that tech might get a lift because IBM had a good earnings announcement, and that hasn't happened. It seems, and the two companies are different, right? IBM has a lot of recurring revenues from maintenance contracts. Oracle's the same way. They do most of their sales to enterprises. Intel has a lot of exposure to the consumer. Are people going out and buying PCs and laptops? That's what matters to Intel, and the answer is probably that spending is going to decline in the next 6 months. On the other hand, these stocks could look cheap pretty soon.
Well, and on the other hand, Terry, we have Steve Jobs today out with the newest thing, which happens to be one of the thinnest notebooks that's ever been made by Apple. In fact, they say it's the world's thinnest notebook computer. I won't go through the dimensions, but it is super thin. So they've got new products.
And I'm sure it will be fabulous. And, of course, Apple, one of the best performing stocks last year, as was Intel. But look what's happening to Apple today. I mean, if we're going into a consumer-led recession here in the U.S., Apple is not going to hold up, and people aren't going to be spending $1,900 for no matter how great this new laptop is. And I'm sure it's late. I'm sure it's fabulous. I'm sure it's everything Steve Jobs could have dreamed of. But if we're in a consumer recession, well,
and Tom, to Terry's point, Apple is down 7% today, the stock price.
Yeah, but here, I think there's a big picture thing. This is something Johan touched on. I think he's dead on this one. You have this constant drumbeat of things that go up in price, typically commodities. But in fact, it's always a battle between the commodity prices rising and productivity bringing prices down, especially in the area of electronics. So, and the thing that Johan hit on that I think was the big picture is it's a worldwide thing. It's worldwide commodities and worldwide productivity. And that's the great battle you're seeing, and that's one of the reasons, incidentally, why the dollar keeps getting pounded, because the other economies are actually getting stronger than they used to be, and they're getting stronger at a faster pace than ours.
I know Peter wants to weigh in here, but Peter, I got to say, the one bone I have to pick with you, and I do think you've been extraordinarily prescient in terms of what's happened, but is you tend to discount, I think, too much the productivity gains that we have made over the year, which have been extraordinary, and the United States has been leading the way in productivity gains because of our computer successes.
No, we haven't been leading the way. It's foreign economies that have been doing the real production. Our productivity is a myth. It's created by accountants. They use hedonic judgments.
It's created. Our productivity is created by people working hard to invent new products.
David, no, we have a $65 billion a month trade deficit. That means we're not producing.
We're importing some of that productivity.
That's
what he's trying.
All right, go ahead. Finish your point, Peter.
If we were being productive, we would have a trade surplus. You can't be productive without producing stuff. This is a government illusion.
You are dead wrong, and I'll prove it very easily. I pay somebody $20 an hour to come and clean my house once a week. My time's worth about $2,000 an hour. Now, Peter, by your thoughts,
you don't understand.
$20 an hour, and I should go clean my house and spend 4 hours doing that.
Let me finish to making my points.
Wrong.
Because you don't understand the first thing about economics.
No, Peter, you don't understand economics.
No, if you understood economics, look, if you understood economics, you wouldn't have been saying housing prices were going to go up 10% in 2008.
But Peter, hold on.
Because
I don't want to get too
economics.
esoteric with these economic figures, because in fact, Peter, there are some very good economists who say that the trade deficit doesn't matter as importantly as you think. They may be wrong. You may be right, but not every economist agrees with you.
Well, sure, and those economists, if they're investing money, they're losing it. If they're advising clients, their clients are losing money because they don't understand economics. They don't know why the dollar is going down.
Johan, let me go back to you for a second. Johan, what about productivity? Doesn't that account for at least some progress in terms of what we've been doing and the way we manufacture things more efficiently in this country?
Well, absolutely. Productivity, of course, is important, and Tom has a good point in the fact that if you spend $20 to come in and have somebody cleans my house, and I can go out and make $2,000, even though I think Tom is exaggerating a little bit, but to the point. But at the same time, our trade deficit, of course, does worry me, and it does affect the dollar, and a lower dollar also affect oil prices.
Victoria, go ahead.
What I care, productivity. Look at what technology has done for the average person's day at work. Email, web communications. We don't have to travel as much as we used to. You've got online marketers.
But it's not translating into more production.
With buyers.
It's not translating into more goods being produced.
It's increasing the value of every person's hour, Peter. That's huge. You can't say that that's a trivial effect on our economy. It may be hard to quantify.
Well, he can't say it.
It's
I'm not saying.
effect.
Look,
he can't
I'm not
say
saying
it.
there's.
It might not be true.
Hold on.
All right.
I'm
let's
not saying
give
there's no
Peter the final word. Go ahead,
effects.
Peter.
I'm not saying there's no positive effects of productivity, but they're being overwhelmed by all the negatives. Our economy is screwed up. Why do you think I know the stock market's going to fall like this? I mean, it's not coming out of thin air. Why did I know that dollar would do what it do? Or
because you've been predicting it for 20 years, Peter.
No.
Every year you come out and say the economy's going to hell. The economy's going to hell. And when it doesn't say, see, I told you so. In the meantime, the stock market's quadrupled since you've been starting to
There isn't a single prediction that you've made about the market that's come true. Not one.
All right, that's got to be the last word from my friend Peter. Well, American Idol is back.